so today is election day. Are you going to vote? In this video, I will be giving my reaction and my ways that Trump could win or Harris could win. Let's get started. So let's get the latest.
On the last full day of campaigning in the 2024 race, as the candidates make their final pitch to voters in the most critical battlegrounds, former President Trump making 4 stops across 3 states today, as Vice President Harris goes all in on Pennsylvania with 4 stops across the Commonwealth. Speaking this morning in North Carolina, Mr. Trump surprising the crowd.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give reasons, ways that Trump could win, and I'm gonna give ways Harris can win. So since we got Trump, I will start with Trump. So
with a new message on immigration and Mexico,
the ways that Trump could win, in my eyes, in my opinion. Okay, so number 1, he's not in power, and let me break it down. So the economy is the number 1 issue for voters, and while unemployment is low and the stock market is booming, most Americans still say that they are struggling with higher prices every day. I get that. Inflation hit levels not seen since the 1970s in the aftermath of the pandemic, giving Trump the chance to ask, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? In 2024, voters around the world have several times thrown out the party in power, partly due to high post-COVID cost of living. U.S. voters always seem hungry for a change, and that's fact. So let's see what Trump's talking about here.
If they don't stop this onslaught of criminals and drugs coming into our country, I'm going to immediately impose a 25% tariff on everything they send in to the United States of America. You too. Congratulations, North Carolina. Because if that doesn't work, I'll make it 50. And if that doesn't work, I'll make it 70.
Okay, so let me explain to those who don't know what tariff means. You got some saying Trump have no idea what tariff means. So let me give you an example of what he means by tariff. So say this, mostly everything that United States get goods, whether it's electronics, clothing, or whatever, where do you think it comes from? It comes from China. Okay, so while it's coming from China, in order to get into the States, well, the U.S. Treasury have to pay a certain amount to get that good over here. So basically, China got to make a profit. The United States has to make a profit. So say if I'm buying a TV, you get a shipment of TVs over here. They charge 60%. It's 60% more. So they're saying that the tariff situation is at 60%. So say if I buy a $1,000 TV, well, guess what? 60% of $1,000 is $600. So I will be charged $1,600, not including, let's say, Best Buy. They got to get their cut too, so they're gonna mark it up by what? Let's say $400. So that's $2,000. So that's extra $1,000 I'm paying for a $1,000 TV. So that's the analogy of what they mean by tariff, for those who may not know.
The country is terrible. It's terrible. It's a failed country. It's a very demonic party.
Okay, so you see what they're using, scare tactics, that rhetoric, campaign, close messages, and flippage of the votes at the voting machines and stuff like that. So enough about Trump, so let's see how Kamala Harris could win. So let's search Harris. What we'll do is we'll just go Harris, right? So let's see what the news is on Harris. Let's see what she's talking about. Okay, so this was the last night rally.
Franklin looked her in the eye and said, "A republic, if you can keep it." Those 5 words, if you can keep it, that has been our charge for centuries.
Okay, so this is my take on Kamala Harris. Just 2 ways she could win. Alright, so here's Kamala Harris. Okay, so let's pause it for 1 second. So here is 2 ways that I think Kamala Harris could win. Let's start with this. Number 1. Okay, one way she could win is she's not Trump. What I mean by that, despite Trump's advantages, he remains a deeply polarizing figure. So you will look at that as a plus, right? However, this time Harris is playing up the fear factor about a Trump return. She called him a fascist and a threat to democracy while vowing to move out from drama and conflict. So that's one way that she could win. So let's see what she got to say real quick. Let's see what she got to say in this one here. Let's just get a little clip it real quick. So her biggest thing is this: women's reproductive rights. Number two, and the most important way that she can win is because she's not Biden. The Democrats were facing near certain defeat at the point Biden dropped out of the race. People need to remember that. United in their desire to beat Trump, the party quickly rallied around Kamala Harris. That's two ways that each can win. So let's see what she's going to talk about, and I'll finish up the video and give my thoughts.
I won fights. I won fights against the big banks when they ripped off homeowners. I won fights against for-profit colleges that scammed veterans and students, against predators who abused women, children, and seniors, against cartels that trafficked in guns and drugs and human beings.
That's her point. So her selling point's been she fought the big banks. She against the tax hikes. And Trump is for millionaires. So Trump's selling point is the economy is worse now, being with the administration of Biden-Harris. The immigration is terrible because of Biden-Harris administration. So I just gave you two simple cut things. Now let me give you my finishing words on this. Okay, so these are my final thoughts. Without Pennsylvania, there is no way Trump can win without flipping at least 3 of the states that Joe Biden won in 2020. Now, with Harris, this is my final points with her. For Harris, the most plausible path to victory without Pennsylvania requires her to win a battleground state, of course, of Wisconsin and Michigan, where she's currently polling ahead. The vice president also needs to win at least 2 of the other swing states where Trump has an edge. I'm just going to leave it there. If you're voting, good thing, exercise your right. My ancestors fought too hard, and the one who didn't go through that, still, your ancestors fought too hard as well. So I hope this day finds y'all well. For you who think your voice don't mean nothing, it does. Voting is your voice. If you choose not to vote, that's your prerogative. And I hope y'all have a great day, and I'll see y'all in the next video.